Welcome to this edition of Rebel Wrap Up. I'm your host Tim Tao, and we're in a different location today as we're not at Circuit World. We're in the high school field house. We do want to thank Circuit World as our sponsor for this show. Thank you for everything that they do throughout the year. This is a championship, region championship edition, undefeated season, special playoff show for the Fannin County Rebels, coming off a 55-7 victory over Dade County last Friday night in Trenton, Georgia. The Rebels secured an undefeated season at 8-0 for the first time since 1995. Definitely a special night, coach and players, and a night that we won't ever forget as history was made in Trenton, Georgia for the Rebels. Real quick, before we dive into everything, we will go ahead and look at the final region standings. The Rebels came in at 5-0 on top. Pepperell was at 4-1. Model was at 4-2. Chattooga got the fourth place spot at 2-4. Gordon Central just missed the playoffs at 2-4 as well. Coosa was 1-3, and Dade was 1-5. Last week in the region, we defeated Dade County. Model defeated Gordon Central, and Model also defeated Chattooga. They won 2 games last week to secure the third place spot in the region, defeating Chattooga 49-7 and Gordon Central 28-7. It was an interesting game with Model and Gordon Central. If Gordon Central would have won on Saturday, they actually would have been a 3 seed. It was 7-7 going into the fourth quarter, but Model pulled away and they secured the third spot in the playoffs. This week we host Pace Academy. It'll be on Saturday night, not Friday night. Yesterday the Georgia High School Association announced that all 2A and 4A games would be moved to Saturday due to officials. So we're going to play on Saturday night at 6 o'clock against Pace Academy out of Region 6. Pepperell will host Lubbock Saturday night. Chattooga will travel down to South Atlanta, and Model will travel to Washington. So that will be our region roundup. Obviously, these guys have been playing together for a long time. One of the most successful teams in school history, one of the most successful senior classes in school history. So it's going to be fun to talk to these guys about what Fannin County football in this season has meant to them on the show. We'll definitely talk with Coach Cheatham about that as well. But Coach, we talked Friday night, just an historic win for the program. But what has this season meant to you and these players?
I just think it's just wonderful, and it's been a blessing because it's been a tough season. We won a lot of football games. We scored a lot of points, and we've kept teams from scoring a lot of points, but there's been so many battles on and off the field that, as far as this year, and we can talk about all those things, the COVID situation, and, practicing from day to day and not knowing what the future holds. But I think that the real credit goes to these seniors and what they bought into 3 years ago when I came in. They don't have to be coached hard anymore. I remember those first 2 years. It was, I didn't have a voice, and I was coaching hard every single day. These guys know the expectations. They get the job done, and they have earned every minute of this success. And I'm just proud for them, proud for this community, and for our coaching staff. They did it. This is not about me. This is about them and what they've done and what they've accomplished in the weight room, and so this is for them. And I just get a chance to be with them and hang out with them and laugh with them.
Absolutely. It's going to be a special environment Saturday night. Let's talk about what it means hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2010 for the Rebels.
Well, I in 2010 I was in another place, and I think we were in the playoffs then, but to be back in my home, and I didn't get a chance to do that when I was playing, and so it's going to be new for me as well as it is for these guys, and it's going to be pretty special coming out of that tunnel a Saturday night and being back at home with my family and my players, and it's going to be really, really good, and I'm really, really excited about it. As a matter of fact, you can hardly wait. We're tired of practice, and we just want to play, and that's how we feel.
I can't wait to see the scene Friday night. course, we're advertising a blackout. Everybody wear the Be the Storm shirts that everybody's purchased. Should be a special scene. I expect to have a good crowd, and I hope Blue Ridge turns out and shows these guys how much they mean to us and supports the guys. Michael, you're just to my right here, so we'll ask you first. But you were very excited to hold this trophy up Friday night. I saw you dusting the dust off of it. There was some dust off of it, and you made sure it was nice and clean before it got back to Blue Ridge. But just talk about the season, Micah, and what winning this trophy means, and playing Friday night at home playoff game.
I mean, winning this championship means everything to this program that we have. You know, freshman year we would never have dreamed of getting this far, and then Coach Cheatham comes and he really turns the program around, brings new energy, and we come to practice and we give it all we have to get ready for Friday night. So winning that trophy, our guys deserve it. I know all my teammates over here, we practice and give it all we have. So it was really great to see this and hosting a playoff game on Friday night. That's just one of the rewards of working hard, and we just hope that we take advantage of it.
It's going to be a special scene on Friday night. Luke, same question. You know, what winning this trophy mean and bringing it back to Blue Ridge mean to you? A lot of hard work over the past 4 years, I know, from your side.
Just kind of going off what Micah said, it means a lot to us as hard as we work. But I mean, starting now we're 0-0. It's a new season. Once you get to the playoffs, so you just gotta continue to work.
Buddy, I know you and the offensive line have worked really hard. You guys don't get enough credit. We don't get to call your name out a lot, you know. But you and that offensive line have worked your tails off this year, and the defensive line as well. But again, just kind of the same question. Talk about what winning the trophy means to you guys.
It made us all proud. We know we put the work in. We know we've earned it. But like Luke said, we're 0-0. Games matter now.
Time to get another trophy and bring it back to Blue Ridge. Tommy, you've had a good season, buddy. Talk about what winning this trophy means to you.
I think it means a lot for the team. I mean, it shows how much we've worked. I'm going back on what Luke and Micah said. I mean, Coach Cheatham, on the other hand, he pushed us at first. I mean, freshman year, yeah, I'm going to go back on this thing. Yeah, freshman year, I didn't think we would be at the point where we would have that. And then when he turned the program around. I'm pretty proud of ourselves. I mean, that's all I got to say.
How do we love you, buddy?
Coach Cheatham has turned this program around. The last 3 years we've been in the playoffs. It's the first time in school history that we made the playoffs in 3 consecutive years. Christian, successful career, successful season for the Rebels. Talk about what bringing this trophy back to Blue Ridge means to you.
Yes, sir. It means everything. I mean, bringing the trophy back. The freshman year, we only won 2 games. And Coach Cheatham comes and turns the whole program around. And I mean everything.
Jacob, you played both sides of the ball this year, like with some of the other players. You know, talk about the season and bringing the trophy back home.
I mean, we really started in December of last year with the morning workouts, and then going all through summer practicing, then all through the fall. We practiced when we even played. It took us forever to finally get a chance to play our first game, let alone our first scrimmage. I mean, after the first game, I kind of knew we was going to have a really good season. We had a really good team. I knew what kind of energy we had, what kind of potential we had. So I kind of knew at the beginning of the season what this was going to be like.
Rebels do stand at 8-0. They do host Pace Academy, which we'll talk about later in the show for the Rebels. Guys, this is kind of just a fun segment. Talk about, we'll go individually. Talk about what your favorite memory in the past 4 years has been, and maybe something, an interesting fun fact about the football team that nobody knows. So it'll be a 2-part question. Michael, we'll start with you. What's been your favorite memory of the season? And then at the second time, I want you to tell the audience a fun fact about the team that mainly nobody will know.
I would say probably my best memory, as terrible as it was when Coach Cheatham first got here and we had to do spring practice. It was absolutely terrible. People were dying left and right. They would walk on the field and yell, "We're draining the swamp." And people were throwing up and having ice towels thrown on. And it was really awful, but it was probably one of my favorite memories because I knew previous coaches don't want to push their kids like that, and we didn't have the energy to get better, and kids just walk on thinking that your spot's going to be there when you get back, and he showed up, and you had to go out and work for what you have. I don't really know what we do. I mean, the get the dust off thing, that's a joke that he said too. He came in one day and we had a bye week and he said, we got to get the dust off these pads. And Cade Sands, who's sitting in there, would like say it in a real deep voice. It was funny. So that's why I started laughing at that.
So Luke, what's been your favorite memory playing the last 4 years at Fannin County? And just give a fun fact that maybe the audience don't know about the team.
I don't have like a single memory, just showing up every day, and then, like you said, at the end of your senior year, being rewarded. That's a pretty great feeling. And fun fact, it's probably just going off what Micah said about Coach Cheatham. All the younger kids making fun of him, like Cade, like got to take his medicine.
I missed that. I don't know what he said. Somebody making fun of it?
I think so, yes.
I got you, Mark, Kate.
You can address that tomorrow at practice. You can address that tomorrow at practice. Bundy, same question. You know, what's been your favorite memory playing football here the last 4 years? And give a fun fact to the audience about what they may not know about the team.
I mean, I make new memories every day. You know, it's just awesome to be here. But my most memorable moment is being called out in front of the team and being told that I look like Tarzan but play like Jane. And,
Who did that?
You did
Coach Cheatham did, I think.
My favorite memory of Bundy is the water bottle incident.
Oh,
Would you like to explain that?
Is that something
I-
Absolutely terrified of throwing anything in the locker room now.
that might be a
that's
good
true.
That may be a good thing.
That's true.
Tommy, you know, Rebel favorite, you know, what's been your favorite memory playing football the last 4 years? And maybe a fun fact about the team that many people don't know.
My favorite memory, I'm gonna say it, tackling the bear at when we were doing it at the pep rally that one time. Coach Thigpen told me to go get it.
And you went and got
Yeah.
it. Tell everybody what happened there. They may not know what it wasn't there, Tommy.
It was during a prep rally. It was when we were going against
Turkey Bluff.
pep rally that day, yeah. And our kicker, the kicker Alex White, he dressed up as a bear. I didn't know that at the time. And well, he kind of stole the spirit stick, and
Tommy had a perfect form tackle.
yeah, tackled him pretty
On a
much.
gym floor.
Couldn't be better, good Tommy.
RKO'd him right in the middle.
It's all spirit stick, right?
Tommy, what's a fun fact about the team that maybe not a lot of people know?
Look at me, Tom.
I can't think of one.
We can come back to you if you can. Cindez, what's been your favorite memory about being a Fannin County Rebel, and maybe a fun fact about the team that many people don't know?
My favorite memory has to be Coach Cheatham's first year coaching here. We went to a little camp in Union, and all the linemen were in their little spot, and we got in a big fight.
Is that where Gus originated?
That's where Gus originated from.
that day in Union County. Jake, same question, buddy.
I guess my favorite memory is just working every single day with my teammates and my coaches, working to win every single game possible and get better. Maybe go to state championship.
Got a fun fact about the team that maybe anybody don't know?
I don't think we've been allowed to do shower time for a minute.
I knew that was going to come up.
Once again, this episode of Rebel Wrap Up is being broadcast on fyntv.com. You can catch this episode of Rebel Wrap Up along with other episodes of Rebel Wrap Up on demand at fyntv.com, as well as our YouTube page. Follow Team FYN Sports on social media for other coverage of sports. And stick around for part 2 of Rebel Wrap Up today.
At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home, but we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Yeah, welcome back to Rebel Wrap Up. This is our part 2 of our episode. I'd like to thank Circuit World for sponsoring the show this evening. Circuit World is our sponsor. Of course, we're not at Circuit World today. We're at the high school field house with Coach Cheatham. We do thank Circuit World for all they do for Fetcher News. A special guest here to my right, BKP, Team FYN Sports Director Jake West, and of course Fannin County Head Coach Coach Cheatham. We're just going to have, we'll talk with Coach Cheatham, talk football, talk about the game Friday night.
Well, you're the director of Team FYN Sports. I just want to make sure we are clear. I'm a special guest.
Okay.
Me and you. Right, Coach. Coach, I couldn't go the whole year. I was sitting over there. I was like, the whole year. Tim, I want to say while we're here, you've done an amazing job this year. Tim got with me at the beginning of the year. He said, hey, man, I want to do Rebel Wrap Up. I couldn't think of a better guy that can wear the colors, knows the team, and has your heart in it. So, Tim, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you doing it this year. But I couldn't stay away today, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
I remember the first day we met.
Yes.
Actually, you had suit and tie on that day, Coach.
Yeah, I don't do that much anymore.
I just wanted to remind you.
Yeah, we were out there.
Yeah. There's a guy in the tie.
And you were like drilling me, and I was like, who is this guy? Man.
But no, Coach, it's been a special relationship with our organization and this football team.
No doubt.
And we've enjoyed watching it grow. But I think we want to talk about Saturday. I mean, a lot of hard work's gone into this. It just didn't happen this year. These young men, throughout the, talk about the development of getting to Saturday. It's not just this year.
No, obviously it started in the spring when I got here. Obviously, like you're talking about, one of the first guys I met was BKP. We had an interview, and he talked about, I can remember the conversation. My wife was in there, and we talked football, and how would I do things as far as would I two platoon, would I cross over players, what's my philosophy on offense and defense. And I think one of the things that we came out of that meeting with BKP and some of those other guys that from year to year things change, and we have to morph our offenses and defenses to the talent and abilities that we have. And at that point, I hadn't seen our kids on the hoof yet. And your question, you said, Coach, what are you going to do on offense? Coach, what are you going to do on defense? And I said, sir, I have a philosophy, but I think the most important thing is what takes advantage of their abilities the best. And then we as a coaching staff, our job is to morph our program, our offense and defenses based on their abilities. And so much credit to Chris and to Adam and Jeff and Chuck and Alan and Noah and those guys have been with me for several years. And we talked about that when I first got here, about consistency and expectation. And I think the more that you can be consistent, the more that the players can feel that consistency and know what their expectations. It's huge. And but I want to say, BKP, I appreciate what you do for our kids, Jake and Tim. You always said this every time we went to a show pre-COVID, when you were the main guy supporting young.
I'm still the main guy.
You're still the main guy.
Don't want to get that. I'm just joking, Coach.
And the statement that you continually made was, we want to support young kids. And you can say that statement better than I can, because you said it continually, and I think that's an important statement.
Promoting athletes in a positive.
Always young
Promoting
athletes. And I appreciate that, and we're all pumped up for Saturday, and we enjoy it. Go ahead, Jake. I just appreciate getting a question in here. I know we don't have a lot of time. You guys, what do you have for Coach, or what do you see this Saturday as far as this upcoming game? Jake, you want to get in this?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to know what you thought. I mean, obviously you have to play the hand you're dealt, but with the side of the bracket you guys got put in on, and
yeah, I feel really lucky. The first year you draw Calhoun, make it to the state playoffs, first time in AAA. Then you go back to back, first winning of the season in AAA, and that year you draw Cedar Grove. And then Region 6 gets all screwed up because COVID, and probably the best team in the region ends up number 4, and you get the luck again of drawing Pace Academy. It's a very competitive region. The top 4 teams are very close together. Obviously, they're all very athletic. Between South Atlanta, Booker T. Washington, and Lovett and Pace. And then if you look at Columbia and some of those other teams that are in that region too, I mean, you're talking about athletes everywhere. And that's what Pace brings to us Saturday night, is athletes in space. The quarterback is a dual threat. I know that he's been looked at by Notre Dame. They have a very good Mike linebacker who comes in at fullback number 7. I think that's the Morris kid. That's so has several offers in a Division I, and then they have several bodies around him. I think the best player they got is number 4, and he's a receiver. He's been hit with a little bit of ankle injury, but I know he's going to play. You probably can't hold him out of this game. They're very, very heavy up front. So it's going to be hard to move those bodies. They're 260 plus across the front. Very organized. Coach Slade played for the New England Patriots. When we all knew when we were following the Patriots, does a heck of a job there as far as organization. But his players, they have a scheme. They follow that scheme, and we're going to have to find ways to get them out of what they want to do, and find ways to create matchups where we can be successful. So we spent, the better part of really almost 2 weeks starting to look at those guys and develop a game plan, and we have one. It morphs every single day at practice. It'll be a little bit different tomorrow. We'll kind of nail that down. We'll take Thursday off for Thanksgiving. Friday, come back in and get finished with it, and then play on Saturday. But they're very good. They're very special. I think that their defense is the best part of their team. With the way that they play, the 4-2-5 and the 4-3, they're able to play man coverage on us, where a lot of people that we've played over the past, 8 weeks or 8 games, they've had to kind of pick their poison. Who are we going to man? Who are we going to allow to run free? Well, this group can man us all. They can man Jalen, they can man Reese, they can man Hyde, they can man Andre. They can play Luke out of the backfield. They can play Jake and Postel and those guys. So these are the games where I think coaching and adjustments become really important. And you have to have a plan, not only going into the game, but you have to have a plan coming out of halftime. And you script your offensive plays and your defensive fronts and things at the beginning of the game, and then you look at how we can adjust throughout if this happens or this happens. And I know that's a lot of football lingo and a lot of things, but I think this thing's going to turn into a chess match. I think it's going to turn into the team that makes fewest mistakes will win the football game, which I've said all year. The team that blocks and tackles and has great effort and execution. That's to me are the keys to the football game. I think that we match up well in some of the spots where they are. There's not a whole lot of what's the word? They're talented everywhere, but we match up good with them in some of the most untalented positions. Not that they're not talented. I think we're a pretty good football team. I think they're a pretty good football team, and we're going to prepare for the Super Bowl, and I think that's how we're attacking the week.
Yeah, bottom line, it's just going to be a great football game, great football atmosphere on Saturday night.
Yep.
I can't remember a game in Fannin County that I look forward to at home in a long time. Also, you mentioned Chris Slade. Terrence Edwards is also their wide receiver coach.
Sure, yes.
Former
Georgia.
all-time Georgia great, All-American wide receiver. So they have a great coaching staff like ours as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you something about these young men that just left the entire team. First of all, I want to commend you and the entire staff. This is a fun group to be around.
Absolutely.
They really are, and they're a lot of fun. Every time we get around these guys, they're a lot of fun to be around. You win football games, hard work, but you can tell when they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it. Everything you just said about, hey, this is playoffs. There's going to be immediately, we're going to be looking at some things. We're going to have to make quick adjustments. Mm-hmm. Adjustments have to be made quick. We're going to have to play 4 quarters. That's just a done deal. It's going to be a 4-quarter game. We're going to have to come in at halftime and know what we have to come out second half with. So elaborate a little bit on the guys. Are they buying into that this week?
Oh, absolutely. this group has never, ever not bought in.
Right.
And you mentioned them being so fun, but not only are they fun, they are just such a respectable young group of young men. I got a message from the Dade County AD after we had left Friday night. He had sent a message to our AD and said that the chain crew came over to him and said he's been working a lot of football games in the past, probably 300 plus football games on the chain crew. He's never had a group of kids be so respectful and so professional as professional can be in high school than the Fannin County Rebels, and I take a lot of pride in that our kids they do a great job on and off the field, and they're great kids.
I know he's got to go. You got to wrap up, or you have something else you want to ask Coach real quick?
Well, I just want to say that a lot of that is because of you, Coach.
I think a lot of that is because of Chris Pigpen and Adam Turner and Jeff Kuna and Alan Collis and Noah, Ryan Holloway, and those guys that they get worked with, Chuck Patterson, every single day. I just get the opportunity to tag along and to be a part of such a. And somebody asked me about the successes and everything, guys. Great coaches are made by great staffs and great players, and great family at home. And I'm just thankful for what they have done for me and the loyal that they've given to me. And my goal, as we said in that meeting up there, I think you asked me what's your number one goal as a head coach, and I said to be a servant, and I want to continue to do that.
I remember that day, and I don't want to say quote, but I think I'm pretty close if I go back. Always go back and look at the tape. But I did ask you, I said, because when coach first comes in, are you going to play 11 guys on offense, going to play 11 guys on defense, what are you going to do? Some of the coaches previously here and other high school coaches have a philosophy of playing one side of the ball. We talked about that, and I remember that day you telling me the best 11 men. You're going to play the best 11 players.
Absolutely, there's no doubt.
And that's what you told me on day one. And
we're still doing it.
You're still doing it?
Yes, sir, we're still doing it.
You might have to wrap him up. He's got to do some work, but I'll ask him another question.
Yeah, he'll be fine. But I just want to thank Coach. I'm very involved with the program, work with the recreation department, so I've seen a lot of these kids come up, and it's been a special season. It's been a special season.
And going back to that, Tim, I want to thank you guys in our rec department, Eddie and those guys, all of those coaches who have grown these kids, but way before I got here, and had a tremendous rec department, a tremendous impact on their lives to continue the success that we're having. And without those coaches who volunteer their time every day in the fall, who love Fannin County football, I want to tell them I love them and I appreciate them so much. And it's been really fun. It's been really great. We're not finished. We're at 0-0 right now. We have 5 games left, and we're going to attack every single one of them.
We don't want to leave out. We've talked about great coaching. We've talked about the athletic department, Park and Rec. We don't want to leave out the mom and dads. I know many of you out there. It's been a challenging year. It's not over. Coach said it's not over. But it's been a challenging year. We don't know one week after another. Game could be canceled. Every one of you, from parents to the players to the coaching staff, you've been through a lot this year. So let me just say congratulations. I told you, Coach, if you need me help with bed check.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Friday night, just let me know. Just text me. I'll roll around. I think they got to be in bed by 9.
Yeah, I'll call. And let me throw this out here before we go. We had a player in an accident this weekend. JoJo Annis, a sophomore on the football team, had an accident. He had a fractured skull. He was flown to Erlanger. Had a brain bleed. They were able to go in Saturday morning about 5:30. My dad and I took off down there. Got a message from. I got to FaceTime him on Saturday. I couldn't go in. I could only get so far. But he's been moved to a regular room. The neurosurgeon says there will be no permanent damage. He's walking, he's eating, he's talking regularly. And you never know. He may roll up in here on Saturday. And if he does, I think that's going to be a great just boost for our team. Absolutely. And I'm very thankful that there was a higher power that was looking over him and taking care of him, and we're blessed here.
Tim, I know we got to go. He's got to go. But if Coach will let us, if he gets out of here, we take a break. Three of us come back, talk about this game for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
You good with that, Coach?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if you want to take us to break,
Just don't criticize me too much.
No. We need to talk about you, so you got to go.
I got you.
Yeah, so stick around here with our part 3. We'll go to commercial break here, and we'll talk some more about the Fannin County Pace Academy game. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, man.
At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Hey folks, we're back. We are at the Fannin County High School, the field house here. We're excited to be able to be over here this afternoon. It's seems like the weekend already, but it's not. It's only a Tuesday afternoon. And we're not going to be, I am BKP. This is Tim Tao and Jake West. We're not going to be at Circuit World tomorrow night. We want to thank them, our sponsor. We're not going to be able to do our usual show playbook. So we thought once Coach Cheatham got out of here, we'd talk a little bit about some of the other teams that are in the playoffs this weekend. It's an exciting time in high school football. Going into Thanksgiving, you can't beat high school football. But Tim, Pace Academy, I talked to both of you guys. Pace Academy, what Coach was trying to say earlier, and usually you play a 10-game schedule, nothing's in the way, okay? And a 1 plays a 4,
Yes.
okay? And a 1 in your region plays a 4, you host the game. And I don't want to make it a given, but most of the time a 1 surpasses a 4, but we're playing football on any given day. That's not the case this year with Pace Academy. So if the Fannin County fans, not that they're thinking this is going to be a walkthrough, that we're getting a 4 at home, It's like a one playing a one, is it not?
Yeah,
Can you explain why it's like that this year?
It is. So Pace Academy is in Region 6. That region consists of 9 teams. Most of those teams are in the DeKalb County area in that region. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, the DeKalb County schools didn't start their season until very late in the season. They were suspended the first month, I believe, in September. Mm-hmm. So that region made a decision to only count the last 6 games in the region standings. That did put Pace Academy in the playoffs, but realistically, they were going to be a 1 or a 2. South Atlanta is 7-3 overall, but went 7-0 in their last 7 games, or their last 7 region games. So therefore, they are the 1 seed. Lovett is 7-2 overall. They're going to be the 3 seed. Washington is the 2 seed, and Pace is the 4. Just the way that broke out, the way the region standings are. South Atlanta is the 1, Washington's the 2, Lovett is the 3, and Pace is the 4. Realistically, Lovett, I think Pace actually beat Lovett, so Pace would have been the 1, Lovett would have been the 2. But South Atlanta actually did defeat Pace, so it's a crazy region. But this Pace Academy team is no stranger to the playoffs. And they're a very good 4 seed, but the Rebels are a pretty good 1 seed. It's just going to be a special game Friday night out here. I can't wait to be a part of it.
Jake, what do you see with this team coming up here Saturday? Can you add on anything Tim has shared? What do you think about this team?
I think overall, Tim, Pace has only lost 2 games, right?
Yeah, they're
6-2 overall. I was trying to pull up who those 2 losses were to kind of give you an insight. You have it pulled up, Tim?
Yeah, so Chris Slade leads the Pace Academy Knights. They also have a former Georgia wide receiver, Terrence Edwards, as their wide receiver coach, who's one of the all-time league receivers in not only Georgia, but Southeastern Conference's history. So they're a very well-coached football team. They did lose to Westminster on the 25th of September, and they lost to South Atlanta on the 9th of October at home, 22-14. That is their only 2 losses. The other one, I believe, came with a region forfeit, which doesn't count as a loss.
What time is that game Saturday?
That game's going to be 6 o'clock here at Rebel Stadium, Fannin County and Pace Academy.
The Pace Academy and Lubbock game was probably the best game Pace Academy's played all year, and it was
absolutely, they won
21-16. Yeah, and that Lubbock team is a good team. Like you said, they've been jumbled around, switched around between who would be what seed. But I think if you really wanted a lot of insight into what team is coming up here Friday night, I would say that's the most complete game that Pace Academy has played. If you wanted to go back and look at some of the highlights from that game against Lubbock, that's just in my opinion.
So they'll be here 6 o'clock Saturday night, not Friday night, Saturday night, to come out and support the team. And it's going to be, and as you said, this is a very good Rebel team, very good Rebel football team. 2 football teams going to be on the field Saturday night. Jake, what are some of the other, now Jake West is the director of Team FYN Sports. What other teams in our coverage area do we have on Friday and Saturday night? Now, how did they make that decision who's playing Friday and Saturday?
So yesterday the GHSA came out with a decision. I guess over the weekend, all the assigners for all the officials kind of met and said, okay, we got a problem here. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and all of our referees are scattered. They're visiting families with holidays, so they realized they had a shortage of officials for the games on Friday and Saturday, Friday night. So yesterday morning, they came out with a statement saying all 2A and all 4A games are being moved to Saturday.
Was it 2A and 4A or 2A and 5?
It's 2A and 4A. All 2A and 4A games are being moved to Saturday due to the shortage of officials. So you're probably going to see some officials work Friday and Saturday. Some of the referees that probably couldn't work Friday, they're eating Thanksgiving, they're probably going to get the rest. The advantage of Fannin County playing on Saturday, I think they're going to have more people in the stands in that 12th man environment. Union County hurts, I'm sure we'll talk about Union County and Heard County. They have to play, I think, at 1 p.m. All the way in Heard County on Saturday. So they got to wake up early, travel all the way down to Heard. So that's going to be there to see how that affects a lot of our teams in our coverage area with the different start times.
Who do we have, Jake? Highlight some of the teams we do have in our coverage area.
White County, and Cherokee Bluff. Actually, they both played last week in White County. Beat Cherokee Bluff. Cherokee Bluff will be the 1 seed though. Heading in. Also, we have Dawson County, but I believe they're all in the same region.
Dawson and White are in the same region. Yes.
Who have both made the playoffs. So we'll be busy this weekend.
Union also.
And Union, yeah, as we just talked about, Union playing Herd Saturday.
All right, folks. What do we have coming up basketball-wise throughout North Georgia? We're just in holidays. In the holidays, a lot of tournaments take place. A lot of tournaments before we close here on our football side. There's a holiday tournament this weekend that closes up, I think, today or tomorrow here at Fannin. But all over the state, this is a big time for holiday tournaments. Coaches get their teams in these different tournaments, start getting some different looks, speed. When you play basketball, you want to play every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the things as far as GHSA and high school basketball in Georgia that are taking place? And right after the holidays, is it going to kick off as normal, or what is going on with that?
Yeah, I think when you talk about some of the changes this year in Georgia high school, no jump ball. No jump ball this year. The players' benches, they're having to sit, they're having to stagger seats, close to 6 feet apart, No players' benches, stuff like that. I think they're limiting the people at the scores table that are sitting close. So a different look this year for basketball due to all the COVID-19 protocols.
There's actually been a tournament that Fannin and Pickens and Gomer have been playing in.
In LJ, yes.
In LJ this past weekend. I think Fannin girls are undefeated in that tournament.
They actually lost last night.
Oh, did they lose?
Gilmer County beat them last night. Tonight's matchups, you got Fannin, Copper Basin, and then Gilmer and Pickens on the basketball side.
What about over in North Carolina? Now, Jake, we cover Western North Carolina high school sports. We've had no football until February, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna start their schedule. Western North Carolina. We're looking at Graham County and the other counties we cover from Graham and Cherokee and the two schools over in Cherokee, Murphy and Andrews, Clay County. All of those will be starting in February, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, will that be a regular 10-week schedule as in the past, or will North Carolina's football schedule be?
No, their football schedule is going down. I believe they start football. I think they can start practicing in March, so it's going to be real cold whenever they get out there and finally do start practicing. They are going to have a shortened schedule, I think, down to 7 games, and they have been starting volleyball in North Carolina. They started volleyball that Murphy played, but Hayesville last night, Murphy's volleyball team, up until last night was 2-0. I'm not sure what they finished up last night against Hayesville. But in Murphy, things are a whole lot different. As Tim said, things are different in Georgia. It's a whole lot different in North Carolina, with only 25 people being allowed inside the gym, having to wear masks while they're playing.
The players playing basketball have to wear a mask.
Yes, that's yeah.
Yeah, I think they just actually came out with that last week.
Yeah.
All competition players in North Carolina have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Just seems like it would be a struggle. It'd be for some people, I don't know. So, folks, we've got Team FYN Sports, always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way. I'm here with Tim Tal. Again, Tim, thank you for Rebel Wrap Up, and I think we're going to be having you do some other stuff too. You never know. Yeah, get ready. Tim's coming back to do some other stuff. But he has Playbook. Now, these two guys have launched, and I want to highlight that. They've launched a show on Wednesday called Playbook. They've done several shows throughout the fall season here. And just to get it off the ground, and these two guys will be back with all of your, North Georgia, Western North Carolina, all the area region, basketball, softball, volleyball, you name it, they'll be talking about it, maybe even some college stuff. So we'll close with this. College predictions of number 1, number 2 at the end of the year, or you have already thrown in a towel with your team? Or
Unfortunately, Georgia Bulldogs not had the best.
I didn't say it.
I'll say it.
I didn't say it.
I'll say it. But man, that quarterback sure did look good Friday night. I mean Saturday. I don't know where JT Daniels has been all the rest of the year.
He's been on the bench.
But it's hard to go against Alabama right now. And Clemson, number 2. Even though they did lose Notre Dame, I think we all know when Trevor Lawrence gets back in there, I think that's going to be a different story. So I got Alabama 1 and Clemson 2 for the national title. It should be a fun one to see.
And you?
Alabama definitely, but I think the second spot could be between Clemson, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. I think Ohio State's looked really good. Of course, they haven't played as many games as the SEC has, but I don't know. I always like to see somebody play school.
I just can't pull for Ohio State. I can't even say Ohio State's number 1, even though they may be. I just can't say it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm going to stay clear away from the whole discussion right now. Best. We're going to see some great football players. There's some great guys on this team. But 3 of my most memorable, that's what I'll say, high school football games was on the sideline with Trevor Lawrence, his sophomore, junior, and senior year. I got to see him play one time each year there, and he just has turned out to be a favorite of mine, class act guy. So, hey, happy Thanksgiving, okay? You enjoy it with your family and friends, all right? And get ready to put up all your Christmas decorations. We know you got that. But at 6 o'clock Saturday, but actually stop around 4:30, okay? No matter what it is, just stop, whatever you're doing. Get ready, get over here, get in the bleachers, and cheer this team on Saturday, 6 o'clock, right here at home, Fannin Rebels. And we want to wish Dawson, Union, White County, we got anybody else? I don't want to get in trouble. Dawson, Union, White, is that it right
Cherokee
now?
Bluff Center.
Cherokee Bluff. Each and every one of you want to wish you well, unless you're playing Fannin. I'm sorry, we can't wish everybody well.
Sorry, Pace.
Yeah, we can't wish you well.
Sorry. Great guys.
We want to wish everybody well and a happy holiday. We'll see you on the sideline Saturday, yes.
I want to say thank you to Brian for all you do, and thank you, for giving me the opportunity to host this show this season. It's been an honor.
Hey, we had fun, and I thank you for that. I appreciate that. We had fun at the Super Bowl.
Had a great
We
time.
were tired. We took Saturday, it took Sunday to recover, didn't it? But we had a great time at the Mountain Athletic Conference Super Bowl. You can find all those on FYNTV, FYNTV.com. You can find them on the playlist, Mountain Athletic Conference Super Bowl, on our YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetcher News. You can find all